si nous sommes là aujourd'hui, c'est pour vous parler bien sûr de ces il est digital marketing expert pour Renault Sport. Bonjour Benoît. Comment ça va, ça va? Ravi de vous retrouver dans le cadre de ces la passion, on peut dire comme ça. Exactement, ça, c'est un tout complet.
The Renault R.S. days, that's a day of sharing between enthusiasts, between lovers of Renault and Renault Sport. And for the first time, the Renault RS days are taking place in a real race weekend, together with the Renault Championship testing in the background. Benoît Vienne, who is the digital marketing expert of Renault Sport Cars, saying that they want to reinforce the link between competition and road cars. And so these Renault RS days are taking place together with the Formula Renault at the Spa-Francorchamps racetrack. It's interesting, of course, for Renault to have these kind of days during a race weekend, to have feedback from their clients. All of their engineers are present here at the most beautiful racetrack at the world, as they say. There are two types of participants. There are people loving to drive on racetracks, and then the collectioners, as we call them. The whole gamma of Renault is present here. So we're talking about Renault Mégane, Renault RS Trophy, Renault Twingo, and so on. We're here in Belgium, of course, but that's not the only date for the Renault RS days. We've been in Sweden, and on August 12th we'll be on the Nürburgring. Beginning of September we'll be at the Hungaroring, 1 week later at Le Castellet. 12th and 13th October will be at the Red Bull Ring. So the most famous tracks in Europe will be visited by the Renault RS days. And almost all dates are fully booked, so be really fast if you want to be part of it. It is still possible. The Renault Mégane R.S. It's a mythical car. Of course, the Renault RS days are based on the name of the Mégane R.S. The first Mégane R.S. has been created 15 years ago. It's a growing success for Renault Sport. The Mégane R.S. is also a record-taking car, because all the Mégane cars have been on the Nordschleife, the Nürburgring Nordschleife. to break records, but also to develop the car, of course, because the Nordschleife, it's a complete track. It's an ideal track to test a car. Firstly, there was the R26R, the RS Trophy, and now the Mégane R.S. Trophy R, which has been presented a couple of months ago. That car has beaten the lap record at the Nürburgring for front-wheel drive cars. And Benoit Vienne saying that every detail counts when you want to break a record. The Mégane has beaten the record at the Nordschleife, and that new record has been celebrated on social media. And Renault has launched the hashtag #only500, which Benoit is talking about now. Benoit saying also it's very encouraging to have all these people sharing their passion for Renault on social media. The new Renault Mégane R.S. Trophy R has been limited to 500 versions, 500 cars. And that's why the hashtag #only500 has been launched on Instagram. The first 500 followers could see the car before it was released to everybody else. There has been a record, our presentator Thomas Bastin says, on the Nordschleife, but not yet at Spa-Francorchamps. Wink, wink. And Benoit saying that there will be a record attempt here. Of course, that's why we're at Spa-Francorchamps. And this record attempt will be visible on the Renault Sport Facebook pages. And live, of course, the whole lap. The time to beat is 2 minutes 53 seconds and 7/10 of a second. And who's going to try to break the record? Well, it's a driver called Laurent Hurgon. He's a development driver for Renault. He's preparing now for his record attempt. Laurent Hurgon, who is a 46-year-old development driver for Renault. He's with the French brand since 2004. And he's been developing the Mégane R.S. cars, but also the Twingo R2, the Clio Cup, the Clio R3T, the Laguna GT, and the Clio 4 RS. That's a really impressive career for Laurent Hurgon. And he's able to go fast as well, which he's going to prove in some minutes. There's of course a Renault test session going on. That's why we were interrupted for a couple of seconds. Of course, this record attempt is not only for prestige, but also to develop the cars, and that's of course for the clients. Everything Laurent can add to the car, can develop, is of course an advantage for people who are going to buy the Renault Mégane R.S. Trophy R. Laurent is putting on his helmet. That means that he will take the track in some minutes. This is an onboard image, and you can see Laurent on the left. What's special about this Renault Mégane R.S trophy is that it's not only a road car, but it's an ultra performing car for the racetrack. And that's not a coincidence, of course. The test session for the Formula Renault is almost over, or it is over. That means that the track will go green for Laurent Hurgon. He will race on the 7-kilometer racetrack, one of the most beautiful in the world. He will be racing on Eau Rouge, the Rédion, Blanchimont, other famous corners, of course. Here is this beautiful, astonishing car ready to attack the Belgian racetrack. And there he goes. And Laurent has one warm-up lap, which he's doing now. So one warm-up lap and then one flying lap. So he has 3 minutes to get a last look at the, 21 corners of this racetrack. And his time to beat, of course, is 2 minutes 53 seconds and 7/10 of a second. And it's hot in Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium. Look at that, he's climbing the curbs already. It's more than 30 degrees Celsius today on Wednesday. So a lot of heat. Ooh, look at Laurent is already drifting in Brussels. He's warming up the tires. This warm-up lap is the perfect occasion to talk about the car. We will talk about aerodynamics, about chassis, and about weight reduction. Benoit saying that the car has lost 130 kilograms compared to the previous version. This fighting weight of only 1,306 kilograms makes it a true champion on the track, with an amazing power to weight ratio of 4.35 kilograms per horsepower. Laurent is dumping the Blanchimont corner now, one of the fastest parts of the racetrack, and then the chicane, the last corner before the start and finish line. That means that Laurent is starting his record attempt in a couple of seconds. There he goes. First braking zone for La Source. A slow hairpin, and then it's going faster and faster, of course. Because this straight leads to the Eau Rouge corner and the Rédion. We're heading to Les Combes. We can talk a bit about braking of the car, which is very important here for our Les Combes, an overtaking spot, of course. With its ultra powerful braking and a high number of possible suspension settings, the new Mégane is getting closer and closer to a race car, which you can see on board with Laurent. Key to this is a chassis featuring stiffer springs and the lower anti-roll value to deliver better grip in corners and improved traction when putting down power, which he's doing now. His first sector time is 48.016. Look at that full attack in Pouhon. We'll see the second sector time in a couple of seconds when he comes out of the Stavelo corner just before heading back to the old track. Here he is in Stavelo, first right corner. Then there's the chrono line here somewhere, and then he's coming back the old track on the left here. Apparently he's heading to a 2:48, which would mean a 5-second improvement for Renault and Laurent Hurgon. Laurent Hurgon, who's in the last part of the track. And we'll see the lap time in some moments. The bus stop chicane one last time. Really smooth. He's accelerating, and there he is. 2:48.3. That's more than 5-second improvement on the front wheel drive lap record here in Spa-Francorchamps. 2:48.3. Magnificent performance for Laurent Hurgon. He must be very pleased, of course. He's driving now through the pit lane, the endurance pit lane, back to Thomas, our presentator, who will interview him, of course. Yeah, he's even going too far. You've seen Thomas on the screen. Laurent has parked his Renault Mégane R.S. Trophy R. But not in the right spot, apparently. He's moving his car. So, you've seen a record-breaking attempt on Spa-Francorchamps live on the Renault Sport Facebook page. Of course in French with Thomas, and in English with me, Gregory de Gelder. Look at that, the joy from the whole Renault Sport team. .4 seconds, that's the improvement for Laurent. Congratulations, of course, from Renault, but also from all our spectators. Laurent saying it was very hot. He did a test lap yesterday. And he already noticed that what to improve yesterday, and today everything went very well. You can see all, or you can notice all the work which has been done on the aerodynamics in Rédillon, in Pouhon. It's a very smooth car. Can we compare the Nordschleife and Spa-Francorchamps? Yes, of course, Laurent says, because it's both two very fast tracks. So the aerodynamics play a dominant role here at Spa. And what's super is that the car performs everywhere. And Rouge is not flat out, apparently. It was not flat out, maybe on a second attempt it will, but of course Laurent didn't want to take any risk with this beautiful car. We've talked about aerodynamics, about weight, and about the chassis. Laurent is going to give us some more explanations. So yes, he's repeating that compared to the last version, they have won 130 kilograms, which is just enormous. And he's explaining why they have won so much weight, because of a rear diffuser based on the F1 version, also a carbon fiber composite bonnet, Laurent is talking about the rear diffuser working due to the ground effect of the car. There's no rear ring, as you can see, so the rear diffuser is doing all the aerodynamic work, which provides him a better grip on the track. Laurent talking about the chassis of the car. It features a Torsen limited slip differential and a geometry all of its own. The independent front axis suspension with increased negative camber compared to the standard Mégane R.S trophy brings it into racing car territory. Laurent saying that he was drifting on the rear during practically the whole lap. Having this kind of grip with the road car is really exceptional. He's really proud about the work that has been done on the car by Renault Sport. "15 years Laurent Hurgon has been the development driver for Renault. You can applaud them, of course, also at home. Not only at the racetrack, I wanted to say. If you want more information about the Renault Mégane R.S trophy R, you can go to renaultsport.com in English, of course. That's also the spot where you can subscribe for the Renault RS days. Benoit Vienne, of course, saying that that he's super happy with this performance, and he thanks all the enthusiasts at home following Renault. That's it for us. Bye bye.